Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Tank and Trucker here. Today we are going to do a review on a tank destroyer that I got looking. I can't believe I've never done a review on. It is a 215B 183. The 183 is a designator for this lovely boom cannon. This lovely boomstick that if you're a tier 8, some tier 9s, and I've had it still happen even after the nerf, that I've been able to one-shot tier 10s. But if you're a tier 9 or a tier 8, you don't want to get in front of this thing. And you'll see on the replay that I'm going to have, I just did a match tonight real quick to be able to do this review on it. And there was a couple tanks that decided to drive out in front of me, and not a good idea because I one-shot them. So sent them back to their garage rather quick. But let's do the review on this anyways real quick, since we haven't done one. So what do you get? You get one healthy 2,000 hit points for a tier 10 tank destroyer. And they did the HD modeling on this, and it changed the look of it from the standard definition to the high def. The turret looks a little bit different, and then the back of the turret looks different. And the front looks a little bit different too, and it's obviously high def. But for your hull armor, you get 152 in the front, and it's pretty well sloped. Oh, got that freaking Christmas tree. Oh man, how many times I've clicked on that damn thing on accident. So, 152 in the front, and it's pretty well sloped. 50 in the side, and 76 in the rear. So on the side and the rear, you don't want to get hit with HE because that'll hurt, and it'll hurt pretty bad. Your turret armor is a lovely 254, and if you look at this, it's hard to pen the turret on this. If you can get hauled down, which it's only got 5 degrees of gun depression, so it's hard to go haul down in it to get shots off. But if you manage to, and all they can get shots off at is your turret, look at the angling on this gun mantle. It's hard to pen. It really is. I've shot this thing even up here trying to hit the commander's hatches and stuff, and they set so those commander's hatches. See, we should have taken some. The U.S. should have taken some classes from the Britain's here, British designers on how to make a commander's hatch. Look at this one, doesn't even stick up, and the other one is so little. It's just enough so they've got their viewports. And you compare to this to the T110E5's commander's hatch, which thank God they buffed that up. But you've got the premium, it's a T26, oh, I don't even know. It's that tier 10 premium reward tank you can get that's got a commander's hatch that is like huge. I mean, it sticks up so big, it's almost as big as the damn turret itself. And there's a couple more, that's the weak spots. And on this, try and hit that. I mean, it ain't going to happen. So, 254 of your turret armor, 177 on the side, which is still pretty darn good, and 31 on the rear, which basically you shoot it anywhere here with HE, and it's going to hurt. So, if you can stay facing the enemy pretty much, they're going to have a little bit of a problem getting penetrating rounds through you. So, let's look at the gun. Let's look at the nuts and bolts of this beast that makes it such a scary animal. Known as the Deathstar. And you'll see in my replay why it's known as a Deathstar, because it erases tanks off the map. So, you get a tier 10, huge, lovely, awesome cannon with standard AP, and then you get HESH rounds for your secondary and HESH rounds for your third type of round you can use. And your AP rounds do 310 penetration, and the average damage is 1,150. The HESH rounds, before they did the nerf, were a lot higher penetrating. I think it was like 280 or something like that. And they nerfed it down to 230, which is still doable, but you have a lot more trouble doing full penetrating shots on tier 10s, and that's why it's harder to one-shot tier 10s, whereas before you could hit a IS-7 and one-shot it. Now it's not quite so easy. But if you do a full penetrating round Average damage is 1,750. So if you're a tier 9 or lower, that's pretty much all your hit points. And your the cheap hash round gives you 92. I don't know, is that a hash round that's, or is that just a regular HE? See, these are actually known as hash Mark 1s. These, oh, that's just a regular HE Mark 1. It's a regular high explosive, just a regular HE round. That's why it dumps your penetration down to 92. If you can penetrate something like, I don't know, one of the French tanks that has no armor, you've got 92 penetration. You can still do the 1750 damage, but yeah, you're not gonna hit much. Like if you shoot an E100 with that regular 92 pen, for you might do 150 or 200 damage, because basically it's just gonna splash it and do the damage there. Average damage per minute is 2,300. Dispersion at 100 meters is 0.4, and aim time is 3.4 seconds. So your aim time and dispersion are kind of horrendous. I've got brothers in arms on this, plus I've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. Working on the fourth, fifth, the fourth crew skill, and that bumps my rate of fire up to 2.37. My reload is 25.3 seconds. Traverse is 17.05. Added on to your traverse speed of your hull at 2708. You can be pretty well circle of death by a quick moving, even a medium moving scout. Yeah, it's pretty easy to circle this. And you also remember, this turret is not a full oscillating turret. It goes like 45 degrees both ways, I think it is, give or take. Oh yeah, 45 and 45. So yeah, it's 45 degrees both ways. Guess I should have looked at that to begin with. Your gun depression is -5, so you don't have a whole lot of depression. Your elevation is 15, so you can still shoot stuff up on hills pretty easy. Aim time on mine is still 2.9 seconds, even with the crew I've got on this, which is a really good crew. And dispersion is still 0.38, so it's not the most accurate. I mean, you're not going to sit across the map and, snipe stuff. I have gotten some shots on it that I was like, dang, how did I hit that? One thing you got to remember is sometimes you don't even have to hit the target. If you hit next to it, you're still going to do some damage. Just with those hesh rounds, there's so much splash damage that you can still knock 200 and 300, 400, hit points off of a tank. I've actually killed tanks by shooting next to them. My average damage is 26. Weight of this is 60.5 tons, so, don't hesitate to ram something, because you will mess them up pretty bad. It's got an 800 horsepower motor. Specific power to weight is 13.21, so not too shabby, but it's like mediocre, right in the middle. I mean, on a straightaway, you can get up to the 34.3 kilometers an hour, but if you hit a hill, it's going to slow you down substantially, and it does 12 in reverse. And we went over the traverse speed. Concealment, sitting still, is 12.7, which it's not the highest, it's not the lowest, but it's not the best. I mean, 12.7 is alright, but you look at some of the tank destroyers out there that are, oh geez, 35, 36. Yeah, I think, and mainly it's because of the size of this. It's a pretty good sized tank destroyer. So, one of your first crew skills that you're going to want to have is, yep, you know it, Sixth Sense. You got to have that. That bad boy will let you know if you're spotted and to get back behind that rock. So you can load and take that 23-second load time. Excuse me, 25.3-second load time. Okay, so that pretty much narrows that. Oh, yep, our view range is 417, and signal range is 766. Now remember, my view range is 417 with, four cruise skills. 4 or 5? Yeah. So I've got a really good crew in this, so that's why it's 417. I also went with nods because, a lot of times you'll be setting towards the back of the action and just kind of picking stuff off. And believe me, you can get some shots on this that you'd be like, dang, how did I hit that? Cool. And then sometimes you'll be point blank and shoot and completely miss and go, how did I miss that? So, anyways, if you want to hold on a second, I'll have the gameplay that I just had a few minutes ago, and we'll see how she does. Alrighty, so here we go. We're on the map Tundra. Tundra of Thundra. And this is mainly where your mediums will go to the east and battle out over here on the hill. Your heavies usually go down this alley over here on the one line. You'll get your TDs. Some of them will straggle at base and watch the bridge here. And I figured out why XSplit is still on my screen. I paid for a 3-month subscription and they never activated it. So I had to send them an email asking them why they have not activated my account, because I show on my credit card bill that I paid for it. So give me my freaking watermark removal. So anyways, that should be taken care of hopefully in the next day or so, and get that off there so you can see the mini map. So anyways, you got the AMX M4 49 Liberté, myself, Tiger 2, and a T92 artillery heading, obviously Artie's heading over that way. Looks like our E5 was, I don't know, looks like he's heading this way, kinda slowly but surely. But when I play this, I play it like I do a heavy. I don't like to set back and wait for stuff to come to me, especially with a gun on this thing. You want it to be in the game as quick as you can to do as much damage as you can. And for some reason, our E100 decided to go hill, and our 57 heavy. I could see the 57 heavy going hill, but our E100? Okay. We get that little pesky E5 right over here, the T26 E5. He did a pretty good job. And you see that 69? Bye-bye. Just made him disappear. One shot, 1,350 hit points. Gone. So far, we're leading them 3-0. It's going to be 4-0 here in a little while when I knock out their T-34 too. That doesn't happen right away. There already must have been pre-aimed, right? He had to have been setting at A1, because I get hit by Artie here in a minute, and he pretty well trashes me. He hit me for a lot of hit points, and it hurt. T-34, bye-bye. 1,500 hit points from the T-34 gone in one shot. So that now we're beating them 4-0. So I say you'd never drive out in the frickin' front of one of the guns of this thing. 183, the boomstick, Deathstar. See you later. Hate to be you. Back to your garage. So Artie hit me and he knocked the snot out of me. And I hit T-30 there, and I did a kind of a quick snapshot. I didn't aim in because I figured he was going to get in shooting back out, so he got his shot off, which really kind of hurt me. Knocked me down to 619 hit points, but I had to get my shot off as quick as I could without aiming before he had a chance to back out of there. So it hit him directly in the tracks, so his tracks ate, I'd say, about 70% of the damage, and so that's why it didn't do a whole lot to him. The C5, he makes a mistake and pops up here just enough for me to clip his turret here in a second. I knock about 600 off of him. And it's me and the Tiger over here. I was actually surprised I even hit that, to be honest with you. So it's the Tiger 2 is here, myself, and the E5 is coming around finally. Looks like he must have gotten into it with somebody because he's missing some hit points there. But as you can see, I did 4,134 damage in 3 shots. That quick. Took out 2 of their Tier 8 tanks with 1 shot. And the T-34 is a wicked, you know, that tank's got a wicked gun. You know, it's a very, very played tank. It can do a lot of damage, and but he should have known not to drive out in front of me gun. So pretty much I think my driver got knocked out again. He got knocked out when the artillery hit me. I brought him back to life with my magical powers, and then I got hit by the T-30 and he got knocked back out again. So Unfortunately, the driver sits right in the very front, and you can see right there. Let's pause it for a second. See right there, that big old hole. That's where the T-30 hit me and knocked out my driver. I don't know where artillery hit me, but he hit me somewhere enough to knock out my driver. So I figured I wasn't going to go up the one line and have to try climbing up the hills and then have them start capping. So I was heading right back to our cap, but we beat them. So anyways, that is why not to drive out in the front of a 183's gun, because it will do the Death Star and kill you. So just hold your pantyhose for a second, and we'll have the post-game stats for you. So, as you can see, after that replay, that T-34 and the T-69 made a big no-no. You don't drive out in front of a 183 when it's loaded. Never, ever, ever, ever do that. And both of them did it, and they paid for it by being able to one-shot them. Let's see, I hit their T-30, and that was kind of a pee-poor shot on my part. But I did knock out both his tracks and did 588 damage. So obviously his tracks ate a lot of the damage and destroyed him. The T-26E5, I only got a shot off at his turret, which the turret on that thing is just phenomenal. And I did 696 damage and knocked out his radio observation device and his loader. And then the T-34, we erased him in one shot for 1,500 hit points and knocked out his track, turret, and driver. And the T-69 destroyed him in one shot for 1,350 hit points and knocked out his tracks. Actually, I spotted them too. Kind of crazy. And I bounced around from the T-69 and the T-26E5. Now, if I would have been shooting just regular AP, I would not have one-shot either of those. You do take a risk, though, because, like, T-26E5, you know, I only did 696 damage to him, whereas if I would have had an AP round and penned him, you know, I'd have done 1,100 and whatever, 7 damage or whatever it was to him. So, you know, same with the T-30. But I prefer the Hesh rounds due to the fact that you have that chance of one-shotting stuff. Also, you mess their crew up really bad. Even if you don't one-shot them, a lot of times you'll knock half their crew out. But we ended up doing 4,134 damage and getting 2 kills. And that was with 4 shots, 3 hits, and 3 pens. So in 3 shells, and I hit some splash damage on them too. See, that's what I mean. It does splash damage too. So if a tank is close enough and you hit that tank, and you know it can also splash onto whatever's next to them. But so for 3 shells, I did 4,134 damage. That's pretty damn good for 3 shells. I got hit 4 times, 2 pen, 2 bounced for 480 damage bounced. I spotted 3, damaged 4, destroyed 2, and made 47,783 credits. After they resupplied my ammo and fixed the tank itself, I made 179 credits. So you can see when you shoot the Hesh rounds, they are very expensive to shoot. Very, very expensive. How much are they, matter of fact? Let's look. Where are the price of these things? Oh, you gotta go to the, that's right, you gotta service. Duh! Alright, so your AP round is 2,250 credits per shot. Your Hesh rounds are 8,000 credits per shot, or 20 golds per shot. And your regular HE are 1,900 per shot. So yeah, 8,000 credits per shot. And I shot, what was it, 4 rounds total, I think it was? Yeah, 4 rounds total. So 32,000 credits right there just to supply the ammo. But let me tell you, it's so worth it when you erase a tank in one shot. You know, I could just imagine being on the other end of that T-34 or that T-69, being that player going, son of a bitch. You know, I mean, getting sent back to the garage that quick. Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice to be able to do that. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit the like button down below. Um, Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you would like. I try and do as many reviews of tanks that I can. If there's any tanks you would like to have reviewed, I own them all pretty much, except for some of the Clan War Rewards tanks. There's maybe 7 tanks I think I don't own in the whole game. So yeah, if there's any that you would like me to do a review on, feel free. My email is in the comments and stuff down below. Or just shoot me a message on this video, and I'll see about doing a review of any tanks you want. So anyways, this is Tank and Trucker. You guys be safe, and I will see you on the battlefield.